If you met an executive who was just starting out their business, right, what would be your top 3 recommendations?
I think my top 3, number one, and this was true for me, was
Hey everyone, welcome back to our June edition of Wake Up with NFP. We are in summer and it is our first time shooting in our new office. We're super excited.
Yes, officially in our new home off of Government Street. Did y'all say it was Mid-City? I don't know all the Baton Rouge terms.
Yes, we're
Mid-City. Okay, so it's June. Summer is officially here. I think I know what your summer plans are going to be.
Right.
What you got on the schedule?
Well, actually, we have baseball, but we're going to be going to the beach soon. So
As a World Series?
No, as a vacation. Finally.
For you sports parents out there, you know that most trips around the summer circulate around your child's sport.
Right. So this will not be. This will be a family vacation. We're going with some friends, so we're super excited to go.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Much needed.
For you.
What about you?
I think we're definitely going to do a beach vacation at the end of July, but we're trying to set a goal to do like smaller, funner things in between, not just be bored with summer and then have the big trip.
Yeah.
So in June, we have cheer camp, we have volleyball, sleepaway camp. It's a very big deal. In the
Okay.
house. We are going to see one of my husband's favorite musicians at the end of the month. We get a night away with my sisters, and we are going to be doing a home remodel.
Oh, wow. That's lots of exciting things coming
I
up.
feel like things are just moving fast, even when I want them to slow down a little bit, but in a fun way.
Well, speaking of moving fast, we have a special guest today
We do have a
who
special
is
guest.
moving up and up in the community. We're so excited to have her today.
Our special guest is going to be Meredith Eicher. She was a 2026 honoree for the Baton Rouge Business Report for Influential Women in Business.
Yes, it's a big honor. I was there in attendance and she looked beautiful.
So that's an amazing event.
Yes, it was.
Awesome. Well, let's have Meredith come in.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome, Meredith Eicher. We're so excited to have you here as a guest. Before we jump into one of the reasons why we chose you as a guest, why don't you give yourself an introduction to our audience?
I'm Meredith Eicher. I love Baton Rouge. I live and work in Baton Rouge. I've been here all my life. And yes, I'm an LSU Fighting Tiger. And I'm an executive coach and a peer group facilitator. So I have the opportunity to work with executives and CEOs, primarily CEOs and leadership teams, to bring them together once a month in a group setting. And I also get to coach with them on a one-to-one basis and several other different spin-off activities as a result. I'm passionate about what I do because I think it makes an impact on workplaces.
Yeah, I agree. And if you are in business in Baton Rouge and maybe even in Lafayette, you're familiar with Meredith and the way her peer coaching groups and executive trainers can impact your business, because we run across your clients, or people who are a part of your program on a regular basis. What made you realize that you wanted to be an executive leadership coach?
I had an accounting and tax practice, which, not exactly, didn't fit however, it gave me business acumen. And in the middle of all that, something was missing. Something within me, I just said, I'm missing something. I could have bigger impact or greater impact, because business owners would come in and they'd talk about everything but the numbers, and realize that it was more about the people. They needed to bounce ideas. They weren't sure how to scale the business, and I knew something was missing for me in running an accounting and tax practice. And so I went to a workshop, and the person up there was a coach, and I thought they had such an impact on me that I thought I ought to be doing what they're doing. So I went off on that journey. It took me about 4 years, and that's how it all evolved.
That's awesome. I can definitely see you missing something because I didn't know you prior to you working with some of our own employees here at NFP, but I do see one of the things that you're so good at is that piece of connection, like that instant connection with people. And that's probably one of the reasons why there are so many executives between Baton Rouge and Lafayette that are a part of your program. If you met an executive who was just starting out their business, right? It's their dream, it's their baby, it's their passion, but they realize they're missing some things. What would be your top 3 recommendations?
Wow. I think my top 3, number one, and this was true for me, was to pay attention to your people first. What's most important is that relationship and that ability to inspire them, to educate, to bring out the best in them. And that sounds so easy, like they come out of school and they have the skill set, and yet there's so much more than that. So connecting, absolutely connecting, being willing to inspire, educate, motivate those employees, if you will.
Yeah.
And then the second is, as a leader, how do you show up? When you walk through the door, how are you showing up? Are you aware of the language that you're using? Are you aware of the mood and emotion that you're carrying? Have you taken care of your body? Everything from physical presence to getting enough sleep. Because how you show up as a leader is how your people will follow. So I really am passionate because I found out as a leader of my accounting practice that they would send an email around each day to say what kind of mood I was in when I walked in the door. Like, don't mess with her. And I realized that trend extended through the organization. So being aware of how we show up. And then I think the third would be to trust your instinct. And when you have questions, be willing to reach out and ask for help. So you have this balance between trusting instinct and knowledge and also knowing you have blind spots. There may be something you don't know, and how a group of people can help you. You don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Well, and I think one of the things that I've learned through working with you, you've come in and coached our office, but as I've held some leadership roles in volunteer spaces, I am not only becoming more comfortable with saying, I'm not sure, I like asking the question, what question should I be asking?
That is, it's brilliant. Like, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? Y'all, tell me, what am I blind to? Because when you're down in, I always say when you're down in the gumbo, you can't see out.
Yeah.
And the others can see what you can't see.
Yeah.
And that is a brilliant leadership move because it displays humility as well. And that's important. I didn't show a whole lot of humility in my first business endeavor.
Well, that's why we grow and evolve.
That's right. That's why we have coaches, and that's why we have groups, and that's why we do what we do.
Yes, absolutely. Also, you recently received an award, correct?
I did.
Awesome. So tell us about that. It was the 2026 Baton Rouge Business Report, Women in Business.
Influential Women in Business.
Yes.
And it's a mouthful. I got the call and I really said, is this a joke? Like, I saw Baton Rouge Business Report and I thought, oh, it's my advertising call, and so I kind of giggled and I said, is this a joke? No. So I was humbled, honored. There were 8 other women, so there were 9 of us. And wow, some of the women on that stage just, oh my gosh, all of them, amazing, well accomplished. It was humbling, and also I felt acknowledged. I think at times, sometimes when we're in a position, whether it's a leadership position or any role, sometimes we wonder, are we doing good? Are we making a difference? I mean, and just to have a little tap like that.
Yeah.
Because I think at the core of all of this, we want to be accepted. We want to be acknowledged. And that's human nature, and that's okay.
Yeah. I think I understand exactly what you're saying, because I've been in positions like that before, where you're looking around the room and the people who you're a part of the acknowledgement with, you can look at them and think, man, they are really killing it out there. And then there's this level of excitement of like, I'm right here. I'm right here too. And so I know that one of your biggest qualities that you try to focus on is leading with humility and being humble. But what do you think is one of your favorite ways that you've influenced businesses since you've been a coach?
I think making the connection and saying, you can admit you're wrong. You can admit you made a mistake. It's okay. You don't have to have all the answers. And I think when I'm working with someone and they realize, okay, I can take the armor off, and Baton Rouge Business Report used armor off in that, and that's a Brene Brown descriptor. They can see behind the curtain, take the armor off, because what you have in there is a unique gift, and protecting that vulnerability, that piece of maybe I could do it better, and just seeing behind the curtain, I think is the gift I have at creating that space to have that conversation. And once we have that conversation, then it leads to growth. When we're all armored up and we think we gotta have it all perfect, then we're not in that growth mindset, in that receiving mindset. So it's vulnerability, it's empathy, it's humility. It's those things and they can be developed, because I'm walking proof. It can be developed. I wasn't always the greatest as a leader.
I agree with what you're saying about being able to open up and giving the space just to grow and not comparing yourself. I think it's very easy, no matter where you're at in your life, your business, just this day and age. It's easy to have that piece of comparison because this is what you see on all of the social media platforms.
So no, it's all the measure up. Am I going to measure up? Yeah, I'm a fan of Eleanor Roosevelt with comparison is the thief of joy. When we keep comparing, then we're always moving the bar.
Yeah.
And so while we want to learn and grow, we also want to stand still and accept who we are and the gifts that we bring. So important for everyone.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've already heard somebody say, comparison happens at the bottom, collaboration happens at the top. So when you're able to remove those shields from comparison is when you're able to see your teams truly collaborate.
Right, because you allow other people to shine. I'm not always trying to one up, because when we're comparing ourselves, then we're looking to play the ego moves.
Yeah.
As opposed to if everybody comes with their offer, then we can be collaborative. And I'm not looking over at you. We women, we could be checking the shoes out, looking at the dresses and all that.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
So.
Well, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Y'all are so awesome. I love NFP.
Absolutely.
They're my people.
We know.
And
yes, we're so lucky to have you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
So if you don't yet, go and follow Meredith on LinkedIn and all of the other socials so you're able to get some more tips on how you're able to elevate your leadership, and connect with her if you are looking for a little bit more coaching and support. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes our June edition of Wake Up with NFP. We'll see you next time. Bye.